Now, one profound impact of the net is, of course, easy to celebrate. We have a chance to do what we're doing here together because of the internet, and I appreciate that. And the access you have to information and knowledge and relationships and markets still blows me away. A guy who was deeply engaged in pre-net entrepreneurial activity, and the value for that to you is to be appreciated, is to be celebrated. But the profound impact I'm worried about on your behalf, the reason I make my request of students that they stay off of the net in my class, is the growing body of evidence that spending time on the net could result in you being less creative and entrepreneurial, and I do what I can to help you see the risk. The Atlantic magazine article gives lots of anecdotal evidence provided by scientists and researchers examining themselves and their personal practices and realizing that the more they use the net, the less capable they seem to be at pursuing their previous life's love of long-form reading, whether it's novels or important professional work. Now, after being on the net for years, they find that within a few pages of a novel, maybe sometimes even within a few paragraphs, they say that they get antsy in a way that hadn't occurred before. They jump ahead, or they skim lines, or they simply put the book aside. Further evidence that researching on the net turns us into skimmers, and maybe the most telling evidence, was the University College London project, where researchers tracked the use of two major online medical research sites and found that people using the sites practiced a form of skimming behavior, typically reading just a page or two of a paper before jumping to another, and then rarely returning to the articles that they had archived for future reading. The interesting thing to consider is that you are probably reading more than my generation ever did, as measured in the number of words consumed when you consider texting and emailing and net browsing. But the major concern is that all that reading will either crowd out long-form reading of novels in particular, or turn your brain into an instrument that just won't let you enjoy them. And that's important because neuroscience can now demonstrate that the lobe of brain tissue that shows the most activity when you are immersed in deep reading of a novel is the same lobe that becomes most active immediately before the dramatic burst of electrical energy that accompanies a creative insight entering your conscious mind. So please think about the question Nicholas Carr is asking. And when Google founder Sergey Brin projects the future of Google and says, surely if you had all the world's information directly attached to your brain, or to an artificial brain that was smarter than your brain, you'd be better off. Well, I like Carr's response, and his response goes like this. In Google's world, the world we enter when we go online, there's little room for fuzziness, little room for the fuzziness of contemplation. Ambiguity is not an opening for insight in Google's world, but a bug to be fixed. And he goes on, and I hope you take this to heart. The kind of deep reading that a sequence of printed pages promotes is valuable not just for the knowledge that we acquire from the author's words, but for the intellectual vibrations that those words set off within our own minds. In the quiet spaces opened up by the sustained, undistracted reading of a book, or any other act of contemplation for that matter, in those places we make our own associations, we draw our own inferences and analogies, we foster our own ideas. Deep reading is indistinguishable from deep thinking. And deep contemplation, and quiet rumination, and thoughtful consideration of the opportunity, of the problem, of the creative challenge is what you need to prepare for and practice your best insightful thinking. So log off, go read a book, go take a walk, go call a friend, and develop your creative path.